Imagine a world where every woman entrepreneur has the inner resources and tools to not only sustain her career, but to thrive in it. Welcome to the Wellbeing Program Proposal. I'm Jaime Komer, and today I'm guiding you through an overview of a proposal I've created for a nonprofit organization. Today we're going to call it We Know, Women's Entrepreneurial Nonprofit Organization, for their confidentiality. And in this proposal, we'll go over, well, what is well-being? Why does it matter? Why does it matter for the woman entrepreneur in particular? And why we need it now? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to minimize myself, and I'll come back to you at the end of this presentation. So to get into it, well-being, what role does it play in our lives? Well, desirable outcomes, even economic ones, are often caused by well-being rather than the other way around. Let's just marinate on that for a second. Desirable outcomes, economic ones, caused by well-being. In addition, people who have reportedly higher well-being compared to those who measured lower well-being tend to earn higher incomes and perform better at work. So there is a direct link to our work, to our career with well-being. To define well-being further, well-being is our life satisfaction, our sense of fulfillment. So how we measure our own life fulfillment. It's our perception, our individual perception of our life satisfaction. It includes happiness, but I do want to emphasize that it actually includes also more than happiness. So how does it relate, though, to the connection with whole person well-being, leadership, and career success? How does that work? How are they connected? Looking deeper into this interconnectedness, there was a recent study in the United States and Australia showed that women experience stronger detrimental effects of work-family conflict, meaning the work-life balance challenge, which influenced emotional exhaustion and exit intentions, meaning the need to step down from one's role or one's work. And women also face a greater challenge of identity interference. Identity interference is that overlap of one's identity and another. So in more detail, women founders must uniquely resolve identity interference and find synergy among their gender and leader identities to be able to extend the boundaries of what it means to be a woman and an industry's business leader. In further, the connection with whole person well-being, leadership, and career success, as a small business owner in particular, health is the greatest capital of the owner. Is the most important. It's the most important immaterial capital of a small firm, so of a small business. And the smaller the business is, the bigger its vulnerability is in the case of a health problem of the owner. So recognizing that our health, and which is connected to our well-being and our sense of happiness, they matter, they're important, and they impact our business. Funny thing is there appears to be more data and studies of health of the blue whale than there are of entrepreneurs. And imagine the amount of studies or lack of studies on women entrepreneurs as well. Health, well-being, authentic living, mindfulness, valued living, and desirable economic outcomes. Looking a little deeper into this, we know that happiness offers physical and mental health benefits. We also know that a passion for our work and a sense of belonging impact our overall work satisfaction. We also now know that authentic living appears to be connected to mindfulness and valued living, all of which relate to life satisfaction, our sense of well-being. So to define further, authentic living, meaning living in line with our values and living in line in a way that feels right to us, and valued living in line with those specific values about the ways of being, what's most important to us. And research is showing that businesses with a strong culture of health also have improved financial outcomes and less employee turnover rates, which are two aspects that investors are truly invested in and interested in. And to tie this back, though, to women entrepreneurs, there's more opportunity for health resources, wellness programs for larger businesses. Smaller businesses, not as accessible. And there's also disparity in whether wellness programs actually work. There's been quite a bit of disparity in that. So are they even impactful, influential? How so? And are they even accessible for entrepreneurs, founders? And we're asking the question, well, how can we better support the well-being of women entrepreneurs in particular? Well, let's look at this organization that this proposal is for. Again, we'll call it We Know. They are starting up, launching a grant and mentorship program. Very exciting and very empowering. It will include a one-time grant, mentorship, community support, amplification. So there's this piece of, supporting the individual, supporting the business, and also growing the business, amplifying the business. And this program, for the launch, there's a potential of 1,000 applicants. They're launching estimated August 2020 and hoping to have about 8 to 10 selected applicants, and most likely doing this each quarter. So 8 to 10 selected applicants per quarter, as well as this length of program will go for 1 year. And in total, that means about 32 to 40 applicants per year that they're working with. Now, the opportunity of change for this particular well-being program proposal, one that I'm proposing here, there's two major issues that it's addressing. One is gender equity in small businesses, including the recent drop in women-led small businesses due to the response of the pandemic. And then also the lack of holistic, meaning well-rounded, well-being programs catered to the unique needs of women entrepreneurs. Just looking briefly at numbers here in small businesses account for 99.9% of businesses within the US. And by small businesses, that's defined by 500 people or 500 employees or less. As we see here, the amount of women business owners, of small business owners, it rates about, there's 9.9 million small businesses owned by women, 14.8 are owned by men, 2.5 million are owned by equally between men and women, and most recently there's been a 25% drop from February to April of 2020 of active female business owners. So we see this vulnerability and the opportunity to support women small business owners, especially right now, and seeing that the well-being of women is paramount for a healthy and growing local and national economy, and global economy for that matter. Looking at this well-being program, I want to emphasize that this program is quite different from what you might see as a wellness program in organizations where they focus solely on physical health and maybe mental health. This is looking at well-being, again, your sense of life satisfaction in all areas of your life, and in particular, who you are during the process. So while this program does help your business grow, the emphasis is also you as the individual, because the impact that you as the individual, meaning the women entrepreneur, the impact you have on your business is profound. So what does this well-being program look like? This program is going to be in sync with We Know's grant and mentorship program. And so it's going to go for 1 year. And it's a combination of one-on-one coaching as defined by the International Coaching Federation. And I'll get into that in a moment. And it also includes a cohort coaching session, so group coaching sessions with the other selected applicants, so 8 to 10 people. And it also includes check-ins, self-assessments, and evidence-based tools. The intention of this program is to increase subjective well-being. And with that, naturally comes authentic living, health, mindfulness, and valued living. In addition, to further examine the impact of well-being on economic outcomes, as well as entrepreneurial and leadership skills. So let's see how a well-being program like this impacts the economic outcome of the business or the entrepreneurial leadership skills of the selected applicant. The one-on-one coaching, each participant will be assigned a coach, and coaching sessions will be via phone, 30 to 60 minutes each, by a certified coach from an ICF accredited program. I'll get into what ICF is in just a moment. The group coaching sessions offer an opportunity to come together and especially since the entrepreneurial journey can be quite lonely. It also increases that sense of community support. And it'll be 45 to 60 minutes long via Zoom. This is a self-assessment tool that is often used in coaching that we will use, that the applicants will use as their own regular self-assessment tool. So it's a way to acknowledge all the areas of your well-being that impact you. So your career, your finances, your spirituality, meaning your sense of greater purpose, and your environment, meaning your surroundings. Because when we impact one area of our life, like our emotional well-being, when we focus on our emotional well-being, for example, then it will impact our physical well-being, our finances, our career. And these sessions are client-led. I want to emphasize that. We are not telling you what you need to focus on as a coach. As a coach, we are creating a creative process, which is defined by the ICF here. It's the International Coaching Federation. It's a partnership, and it's a creative process that encourages self-discovery and client-generated solutions and strategies. So it's almost like you're strengthening your own inner resources and your own inner tools, so you're able to use those in the future without us. So you're walking away with greater, not just confidence, but greater awareness of how to navigate situations, business, personal, everything, to help you in business, and again, to help you thrive and to create those healthy boundaries that are important to you. Now, the number of sessions for each participant, what this looks like is each participant will have a total of 13 one-on-one calls and 6 group sessions within the entire year. As you see, the majority of the sessions are in the first quarter and then in the second quarter, and then just with one each in the third quarter and fourth quarter of each type. So how do we implement this well-being program? What's the timeline? What does that look like? Well, there's a few things that need to happen first. So in order to implement this, the following steps will take place. Firstly, this proposal is proposed to implement within their grant and mentorship program. And if and when it's approved for further discussion, then Jaime Komer, I meet with the WeKnow's team to discuss and agree on implementation, timeline, and program details. So the following will need to be confirmed. We agree on the goals of the wellbeing program, make sure they're all aligned. Confirm myself as the master coach, or essentially the coach who is responsible for leading the initial and inaugural well-being program, and then continuing to select additional well-being coaches. We confirm the well-being program outline. We optimize a timeline that's in sync and flow with WeKnow's grant and mentorship program, and make sure that it's ideal and optimal for the selected applicants. And we approve the evaluation practices and confirm the budget for well-being as well. And really what's great about the well-being program is the budget, the overhead is really focused on the coaching. So the budget goes towards the coaching, which further empowers more women entrepreneurs, women coaches. And then looking at the timeline even further, week 0, WeKnow approves a well-being program. Weeks 1 through 4, we finalize the intake and evaluation forms. We update scheduling systems with the coach's availability for sessions. We create the necessary get started emails to send out to participants. We organize and gather all resources that will be used in coaching sessions and shared Google Docs. I would connect with my network of qualified coaches to vet interest of applying for the wellbeing coach position. And furthermore, weeks 5 through 8, I interview and select 1 to 2 applicants for the wellbeing coach and provide a paid training that will take place throughout the inaugural wellbeing program. And then by week 9, we are ready to go. Now, I do want to emphasize that this timeline is an estimated timeline. It can be expedited while maintaining the integrity of the process and depending on the need as well. So that's just important, something to acknowledge. So how do we measure the impact and success of this program? There's a few ways what this is going to look like. Is we're going to have a quarterly self-assessment. So participants complete a self-assessment 4 times during the onboarding, midway, 6 months, outtake, 12 months, and then 1 year following completion of the program, which is 24 months following the onboarding. And the self-assessment itself includes the overall well-being, including that life wheel or the wellness wheel that I showed with all different areas of your life that impact you. There is a mindfulness self-assessment, a valued living questionnaire, an authenticity scale, additional questions to gain additional information, and an evaluation for the facilitators and overall experience with the wellbeing program. So to see what the selected applicants' take was. We also take analytics. What's the statistics of each participant retrieved? So we do that at the same time, onboarding, midway, completion, 1 year following the completion date. So these statistics include everything from the general business info of the number of employees, the type of business, the revenue, the funding, remote working versus on location, and then also measurements of diversity within the business, age, gender, race, and any additional information that might be helpful to be able to map. The focus group is especially helpful because we would actually blend this into that quarterly check-in, the actual coaching sessions, because this information will naturally come up in those coaching sessions. And the purpose of this check-in for the participants is to share what from the program is having the greatest impact for them and where there are opportunities to improve the program experience, the content, and the delivery. So this check-in also offers a sense of belonging and connectedness, often lacking in the entrepreneurial journey that we spoke about. And the quarterly check-in will be held via Zoom for 1 hour on the first Thursday of every quarter, for example. We want to make sure that whoever is coaching, that we know the experience that they're providing. So selected group and one-on-one coaching calls will be recorded and always confidential. And these calls will be evaluated by myself twice a year for the coaching skills, the coaching quality, and the coaching focus. And it'll be evaluated 6 and 12-month marks. We know about well-being, what well-being is, why it's important, how it impacts our health, what a well-being program could look like, a quite innovative and new type of well-being program. And just finishing out, recognizing that, I'll pop in, hi. Recognizing that happiness is contagious. Research shows that happiness is contagious. We know that happiness is even more influential on our health than money is. And we also know that our health is the most our health is the most important immaterial capital of an entrepreneur. Happiness, health, entrepreneurship, they're all connected, and we have the opportunity to empower women entrepreneurs with the inner resources and inner tools to not only sustain their career, but to thrive in it. Thank you.